It seems to me like Jill doesn't have a final side quest. Like, if there's anyone that bloody deserves a big, really good final side quest, it should be Clive and Jill. But they just kind of had a mini conversation. They didn't even exchange like some kind of embrace or whatever. I'm sure there's going to be like more stuff with her when we finally decide to go. But surely she needs another quest, man. I don't know. I'm leaving Joshua till the end. I feel like his one might be one of the most significant and best side quests. Let's see. Who is okay, yeah, Dorys. Let's do the Dorys one next.
Sid, do you have a moment?
By all means.
It's my old master. Seems there's no escaping her. She found some way to send me a letter. And something else. Records from a Waluda prison. Seems they were keeping a lot of bearers there.
How did she come by such a thing?
Finding bearers always was her strong point. And it seems the cells of Balmung Dark are full of them. Foreign captives, the masterless. Bearers no one would miss. And even better for her, bearers with no one to look after them. When ether started lapping at the walls, the jailers fled.
Leaving the bearers to be liberated by whoever happened to come along next.
Sid, I'd like to believe that I've earned your trust by now. And while I'm well aware that you've forbidden Cursebreakers from traveling to Waloed, I can't let those bearers die in their cells. I'd rather risk shipwreck on the Shadow Coast than leave them to starve.
We'll be needing the Enterprise if we're going to navigate the Narrow.
Does that mean...
I'm making an exception, but we travel together. And we stay no longer than we have to. Ash is an inhospitable place at the best of times. We save as many as we can, and we leave.
Thank you, Sid. There was a name in the prison register. A name from my past. Chadwick. Another of my former master's protégés. A gifted soldier, and the closest thing I had to family. The thought of him held captive in that place.
He must be very important to you.
He was. Is.
Then we find him.
The entrance to the prison lies in the shadow of Ravenwit Walls, just beyond the portcullis. We should head there as quickly as we can. I only pray there are still bearers alive to save.
As do I, Dorys.
So, I remember saying the last time we had a quest rated Dorys, it would be cool if we could just get out onto the field and kind of fight together. And so I'm hoping this is that quest, because it definitely sounds like we're going to go and fight together. So let's do that. Still continue to take things one at a time here, so I don't have a bunch on the go. Ravenwit Falls. Okay, pretty close by. That said, oh, okay. Name.
Dorys is waiting for me near Balmung Dark. The longer she's out in the open, the more likely she is to be found by a Kashyyyk. I need to hurry.
Right. Let's have a look at these abilities again. Let's have a look. Is there anything that at this stage I can replace? I think I can probably replace Thunderstorm at this stage, just in the name of having something new and different to what we've had before. We've got tons of points, so we can master something new if we want. Yeah, I mean this looks pretty fun, but the damage is low. It's all in service of the Zantetsuken gauge. So if you're not working properly with the Zantetsuken gauge, it just seems like it's not important enough. Now, I've been looking at Raging Fists, and it has the same kind of effects as Power Driver. Blocking an enemy attack with a step forward increases the potency of the following punches. Maybe I can try to combine a bit more of that. Let's just learn it. It costs basically nothing. And I'll even master it, why not? This one, I think, I'm probably going to keep the Mega Flare in general, so mastering this isn't that high a priority right now. So let's have a look here. This, as much as I love it and it does great damage, it doesn't have AoE. The reason I don't want to give up on this one is because it's got great AoE, and you've seen the stagger damage it can do. I feel like it just ticks so many boxes that I've got to have this. But this one is more like it just looks cool, so maybe at this stage I should replace it as we start sort of getting towards nearer the end of the game. Let's hold on. So we should pair these two together, and then the other one is probably impulse that I could change. Yeah, I still like this. It distracts enemies for quite a long time, and I still love my Flames of Rebirth and Giga Chad move. It's too good. I gotta have those. Okay, I think for now we'll stick with this. At least it's a bit of a change up. Let me see. Get used to this. So it's a bit reminiscent of the old gouge ability in that sense. And I've got to get used to pile driving using triangle now instead.
All right. Soil and stone.
Nice. It's definitely a beast to use. Oh, okay, yeah, this was the bit that was previously unavailable. I do like the side quests open previously inaccessible areas as well. I think that's kind of cool. I hate liches, man. But let's take one on. Oh no.
Titan! Over here!
Right, there it is. Yeah, don't want to use the limit break right now.
Nice try. Get him.
There we go.
This one.
Son of a bitch. Yeah, liches have been one of the ones I've struggled with most from the start. Ah, you see, multi-hit again. So that's where I've got to watch out. If there's something I know is a multi-hit, I've got to make sure I don't use the guard. Right, I think these ones I'll skip though. Can't bother. This music reminds me so much of 13, it really does.
There were no guards, I take it.
None manning the gates, no. It's a different story inside, though. The corridors are crawling with Akashic. Most likely guards left behind when the Wardens ran. If Chadwick was being held here, I worry that he may already be.
Well,
Don't give up hope just yet, but let's move quickly. Let me check the ground floor. The ether stick is there.
Then I'll search the upper level. Good luck, Sid. Stay safe.
Just how bad are the floods inside the walls? Bad enough to turn a bearer? I hope not. We're risking a lot just being here. Better keep my eyes open for signs of life.
Yeah, so far at least, the more kind of tragic quests have been people turning Akashic, so...
Locked up tight.
Toit. Let's go. Yeah, put some Akashic over here. Hey guys! They're level 40s though.
Stay down!
Let's give him the old... So, half a health bar. Okay. So it can take half a health bar or so for a regular enemy. That's pretty good. Balmung Dark, Writ of Designation. The Kingdom of Waloed hereby designates this facility a prison for the detainment of bearers, both foreign and domestic. The purpose of this facility is to rear and train a Kuza beast for deployment in the field. The aforementioned purpose is a matter of strictest secrecy, and any mention thereof is to be punishable by death. Captive bearers have been provided solely for the pursuit of the aforementioned purpose. Express permission is required for use of bearers in any other capacity.
So this place was no ordinary prison. And I doubt they'll have taken the creature with them when they fled.
Yeah, could definitely lead to an interesting battle, and potentially a bit more of a difficult one, since we're up to level 40 for the regular guys too. Okay, this one's a self-contained bit. Let's just check it out. Okay.
Time to fight. Go, Tor!
Yeah, this guy's a mage, so we've got to get rid of him ASAP.
Over here!
This one. Just beat people up.
Get him! Too slow.
Alright, almost level 47. Oh.
No sign of any bearers yet. I hope you have better luck downstairs.
Forgot that she was up here. Right. Don't even give him a chance.
Over here!
Oh, it was just a little balcony thing? Okay. Once again, it's a little bit bright outside and the interiors are quite dark for these rooms, so... I might have to take an extra second sometimes to make sure I can properly see what's going on. That side's sealed off. Let's just try this way. Alright, 80% health bar. Is it enough? Yeah, okay, so it's doing about 60% of the health bar. slightly more now. Recommendation concerning Kuza beast deployment. The Kuza has long been recognized as an especially aggressive species. This being the case, it was hoped that successful deployment on the battlefield might be a means of inflicting heavy casualties on the enemy. In exercises conducted thus far, however, the beast has proven incapable of distinguishing between allied and enemy combatants. As such, deployment alongside regular troops is not recommended. It is proposed instead that bearer captives be employed in order to draw enemy focus, and the beast then driven into the fray in order to achieve maximum benefit with minimal loss of Waluda lives. Yeah,
minimal loss of Waluda lives. And what happens when they run out of bearers? Even the Imperials take better care of their branded than that.
Yeah, all the lands, they're kind of in competition to see who can treat bearers the worst. These guys are definitely up there. Memorandum on Kuza beast feeding. Recent supply shortages left us with insufficient resources to feed the Kuza entrusted to our care. Fortunately, the creature was observed to kill and consume the bearers assigned to, assigned to fight beside it in a mock battle conducted as part of his training. The beast was further observed to enter a state of visible contentment upon feeding in this way, suggesting that live bearers may even be its preferred source of sustenance. While this behavior is unexpected, it is not unwelcome. Bearers no longer of use for training purposes can now be repurposed as required. Excellent.
They were feeding bearers to it. This is even worse than I'd feared. Nothing but a caching down here. Hopefully things are looking better upstairs. I should go and see how Dorys is getting on.
Okay, so I jumped the gun a bit by going up to Dorys, but let's go again. Kuza feels to me like it would be more like a behemoth style. I'm assuming we're going to fight another one of that type.
No luck downstairs. But I did find out that this place was more than just a prison. Something far more sinister was happening here.
I know. I've been reading some of these documents and... it can't be true, can it? Bearers die every day in service of their masters, but this is so much worse. Pitting bearers against a wild beast armed with nothing but their wits? And all in order to bring about more death. And not just those who could fight, but the elderly, children even. And those who wouldn't or couldn't were disposed of. Whatever that means.
I'm afraid it means they were fed to the monstrosity they kept here.
Then we're too late. And I was a fool to bring you here.
Don't say that. Did you find anything else?
A key. But it doesn't fit any of the locks on this floor.
Perhaps it will fit one of the doors downstairs. There's a corridor I haven't searched yet. Finish up here, then come and find me when you're ready.
All right. I'll be there in a moment.
Right, Jada's key. Thanks to Elden Ring, I now know how to pronounce that. I was one of those idiots that thought it was like Goal or Gale, or I think I used to pronounce it as Goal. I didn't even know what it was. It wasn't something I'd come across in stuff that I'd watched previously. But yeah, thanks to Elden Ring, I now know it's just jail. It's how they used to spell jail, I guess. Which makes no sense to me, but it's a G. So I don't look at that word and immediately think, yeah, that's a J. You know how it is. English doesn't make sense at the best of times. Now, speaking of things that don't make sense, once again, it's this bit. Yeah, the dark bits are very dark for me. Like, in general, it doesn't seem a problem, but on brighter days, I do struggle to see. So it's not this bit either. Where the hell did I... What the fuck? Got lost in the smallest bit possible. Go me. So just... Oh. I thought this was a cell. Come on, let's fight this big boy. And get revenge for all the fallen bearers.
see what we can find down here.
Right, before heading to the middle bit, I'll have a quick look. Yeah. Obviously, once we get to the middle, I think we're going to kick off the Kuza battle. So. Oh.
A survivor. And she sounds close.
Sheesh. What the hell?
Who are you?
There's no need to be afraid. Are you alone? Are there any other survivors?
Some of the guards. They're still here. But something's wrong with them. Everyone else was eaten by the monster.
Of course there were.
Thank the Founder.
It was worth our coming. But I'd rather we didn't linger. Are you ready?
Ready when you are. You poor thing. He must have been terrified.
Did Chadwick send you?
What?
He fought the monster. Distracted it so I could run away. He must have sent you. He promised to free the others too. Where is he? He opened your cell, didn't he? He wouldn't be here otherwise.
Chadwick.
Was that?
Monster's back! Chadwick, help!
We have to get out of here.
Dorys, keep the girl safe.
All right. You put that bearer-eating bastard in the ground.
With pleasure. Yeah.
It's
Okay.
out there waiting for me. I can't let it live. Not if it's got a taste for bearers.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I forget. The reason I guess Behemoth must be because I've played a Final Fantasy in which an enemy called Kuza was a Behemoth. But at this point, that's a reference I can't find in my head. I don't know which one it is. But I definitely think I didn't pluck it out of thin air. It must be related to something. Right, let's see. Yeah, I think we can just go for it, see how we do. Oh, it is connected to a hunt, I see. Okay.
The beast will wreak havoc if it ever leaves the prison. I can't let that happen.
Oh, it got away, no! That's annoying. Sheesh. Yep, so I was curious about whether... Oh. It's got some nice hits, man. I'll give it that. Obviously, one way in which Thunderstorm was nicer was that I didn't have to get right next to the enemy in order to do damage. So this isn't my preferred loadout, but we'll be okay. If it was 5 levels higher, I think it would be more of a struggle time, but this is a good time for this. Ah, not quite. That's so annoying. I won't let it get me with that again. I learned my lesson now. There it is. Okay, time to recover a little bit here. Right, hit him with one of these. of these. This is basically everything I got. Okay, one more stagger will be enough.
Nice try.
Keeps avoiding that. Right, this time we're gonna... We didn't take any damage, that's good enough. That'll do. Alright, give her one of these. Oh boy. No. But I have this. Right, let's unleash it. Right, should be staggered soon. And should die soon. There we go.
You lose.
Nice. Yeah, still trying to get used to working with the Raging Fists as well. And not having Thunderstorm anymore and stuff, but we got it done.
Finally.
Sid, are you hurt?
I'm fine. I think.
No.
What is it?
A diary. I gave it to Chadwick before we went our separate ways. He was here. Do you think that creature?
I'm sure he fought bravely to the last. The girl is safe thanks to him.
Chadwick. You fool.
Come on. We have to get her back to the hideaway. We don't want his sacrifice to have been in vain.
No. Of course not. I'll see that she's looked after from now on. It's the least I can do.
So there we go. Definitely one of the more bittersweet quests. We definitely needed some of that as well. I think we needed one like that for sure. Can't always be sunshine and rainbows and wholesome stuff. Unless Chadwick surprises us, but it seems unlikely.
From what I hear, you've barely left the girl's side in days. I hope she's recovering from her ordeal.
She is. Slowly but surely. She's far tougher than she looks. I thank the flames we found her. If we hadn't...
I know. But we did. I'm sorry we weren't able to save Chadwick.
There's no need to apologize. Without your help, I would never have found out what happened to him. How he fought to the bitter end to save her. To save Haida Marie. That's the man I remember. The man I thought of as a brother.
I wish I could have met him. I'd like to hear more about your past. If you don't mind, that is.
Of course. You already met my former master. She trained Chadwick and I to do two things. Kill and obey. We were supposed to be sold to the highest bidder when the time came. But no bid was ever high enough to convince her to part with us. For years, we were her daggers in the shadows. But we could never quite shake our doubts about the things she made us do. And then, one day, we just couldn't do them anymore. So we escaped. But staying together was out of the question. They would have found us too easily. After so many years of training, the pull to serve was always strong. It scared me to think he might have taken another master, become a dagger in someone else's hand.
But even in captivity, the battles he fought were his own. And he died not as someone's tool, but as a hero.
Haida Marie is proof of that. Bearers can cast off their shackles. And the Cursebreakers will show them how. I'll fight until my dying breath to see it done. For Chadwick, and for all of us.
Thank you, Dorys. We'll be counting on you.
Cool, that's another one in the books. So you can see none of these quests are just like little throwaways here. They all got a bit of depth to them. And I do love the way that Clive kind of interacts with everybody. In that way, he shows everyone respect and he cares. They really put that across, I think, in this.